What would you say the luckiest thing that ever happened to you is?
Oh, okay. Oh, this is a good question. I would probably start off with
The most important thing.
well, being born white.
Naturally, we know that. I mean,
a lot of my luck. My wife just attributes to white privilege.
Yep.
She's like, honey, it's not luck.
Now.
It's very easy for white men in this world. My luckiest thing ever happened, without a doubt, is the Rolling Stone article.
Right.
Rolling Stone being written about me because I had no plans.
But I would take that a step further. I think the luckiest thing about you possible that's ever happened in your life is your ability to drink.
True.
Yeah. Well, you know
then
what?
it's Rolling Stone, then the
is-
machine. Then it gave you the ability.
I didn't start drinking until I went to Russia.
Oh, really?
I never drank. I just wasn't like.
Wait, so in college,
That's
all that
hilarious.
wasn't drinking?
That's like Jordan being like, I didn't pick up a basketball until I was 18.
he didn't. He didn't.
Yeah, he was a little late. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I when I went to Russia, all my friends were real big drinkers, and I'd smoke weed and I'd have a beer here and there, but I wasn't really like, I didn't lean on it at all. It wasn't part of my personality. And then I
You
went
were
to
able to be social without it? That must be nice.
yeah, I was,
Yeah.
and by the
Show off.
in all honesty, I wasn't that social. I would just hang out. I had a girlfriend. I'd just hang out. I'd go to parties. I'd be crazy. I'd be the guy that got naked and ran around the fucking did the slip and slide. But I didn't need to be drunk to do it. I still don't need to be drunk to do it. And so then when I went to Russia and I sat with those mobsters the first night, I was drinking and we were drinking and I felt like I was really murdering. And I was like, wow, drinking is like a really easy way to connect with people you don't know. And I was like, wow. And then
I get it.
and then I found, like, I drank all through Russia and had a great time. And then we went to Europe. We backpacked through Europe. And I found that with a couple of beers, everything turned into I loved the feeling of like, I love the feeling of the last person that didn't want to drink going, fuck it. I love that feeling. And when you could get everyone to give up.
So accurate.
When you could get
Such a good
everyone to
feeling.
give up what their plans were and rewrite their future just based on, come on, one beer, have one beer with us.
Here,
Don't
put
go to
it
that
on.
museum. Let's sit down here. Let's have one beer. And then you get just that one person that goes, fine, fuck it.
Because it's not just the beer. You're signing a social contract like, yo, whatever happens to happen. Like every time where you're just like, look,
Open-ended
I'm
now.
giving up what I had planned for the day. We're gonna see what happens with this beer. Then
I
we'll see what
trust
happens
you.
with the next one.
I had a moment when I was in Austria. My friends were coming on a train late. They had gone to like Venice to go look at museums, and I just went straight to Austria. And I got there, and I was at the bar, and I was getting beers, and he's like, last call. I go, hold on. My friends are on a train, and they're coming here, and I've promised them that we're going to have a beer together. And he was like, well, unless you can entertain me. And I said, hold on, is that a deal? And he goes, yeah. I said, put on music. I'm going to dance on the bar, and I promise you I'll keep you entertained. And I did this strip tease on the bar that must have lasted 50. I mean, the place was all around me. They're howling. And I remember this so vividly. I remember my friends walked in the bar. They see me half naked on the bar, and I go, they're here! And the place went, yeah! And my friends were like, what the fuck did you do? But like, I get chill bumps thinking about like stuff like moments like that where you can get people to bend the rules. And everything was surrounded around alcohol. And then I think there's definitely been times where I was like, you know, maybe it was too much booze involved. And like those times you're like, oh Jesus, man, I got to turn things around. And then when Rolling Stone wrote the article about me, I wasn't even like, I was a big drinker and all, and I partied a lot, but it was more about being the life of the party. About like, I remember I'd climb up the telephone poles just outside the bars on Tennessee Street, and it would be packed. There would be like 1,000 kids just standing there. It's college. It's like the height, right? I'd climb up to the top of the telephone pole. The cops were on horseback, like all around there. And I'd yell, I have marijuana at my house. If you know my address, I will see you there. If you don't, ask someone that does. No one tell the cops. And the cops would be like, hold on. I mean, there was so much shit like that where I also love a little chaos. And so, I don't know, but luckiest easily was get a phone call, and I'm taking a bong hit. I'm getting ready to play disc golf. My buddy Blair hands me the phone, and he goes, hey, it's Rolling Stone for you. And I was in the middle of a bong hit. I was like, hello. And he says, my name is Eric Hedegaard. I work for Rolling Stone magazine. I want to write an article about Florida State University. And I've called around and they said that you're the guy to hang out with. And I was wondering if I could come in a week in November and spend a week with you and just kind of tail you around the school. Would you be interested? And I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm sorry, were you just doing a bong hit? And I said, yeah. And he goes, I think I found the right guy.
Yeah. That, like, you passed the test.
Yeah.
Like,
And then like I
interview.
said, I was a big drinker, but I wasn't like crazy. I think I've always been a little less than people think, and then more at times. But like last night more. But like he came and he spent the week with me, and he was like, so what do we do? And you're just like, I guess we go drink. And he was like, okay, let's go. And he had the Rolling
How old
Stone
was this
credit
guy?
card. He was. I say he was an old man. He was probably like 30.
Yeah.
Like now I look back,
Let's
I'm like,
go,
he was
geezer.
an old man. We got him high for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
Like he was like, oh, you can't tell my wife about this. and then we went.
All right, I got her number. I was just about to call her.
It was great. It was like we had a Rolling Stones credit card, so I just called the fraternity house and go, hey, if the pledge answered, I go, hey, tell everyone we're going to Potbelly's. Rolling Stones paying, and they'd be like, guys, Rolling Stones paying, and then everyone would show up. We party. We go home. We threw epic parties that week. And he left with such an impression of me of like, holy fuck, that they changed the article and just made the article about me, not Florida State. And when I opened that article, I was floored. I was like, I remember I cried reading it because I was like, oh my God, it was like someone wrote something cool about you.
Yeah, I mean
Dude.
that's something where it's like I feel like a lot of comics and people like us are kind of like self-deprecating, always like making fun of ourselves. But you read that and you're almost like, oh, I'm awesome. Like this is like proof positive. I'm a fucking
It
awesome
took
time.
Bert
People love me.
Kreischer 6.5 years to become the man he is today, which is the #1 party animal at the #1 party school in the nation. And I was like,
Holy
I remember,
shit.
I remember closing the article and going, all right, there's probably going to be some bad stuff in here. And then I open, I go, no, there's not. And I just sobbed crying. And I was like, that's the luckiest thing. I mean, there's so many things of luck that come through where you're like, I'll tell you another very, very lucky thing is, do my Showtime special. This machine story I tell on the Showtime special. No one watches the Showtime special. I don't think anyone understood the way you'd structure a special before then. No one watches the Showtime special. I then misread my contract, and it says you can post 4 clips. I don't see that it says 4 clips under 2 minutes each. I post 4 clips, one of which is the machine story, and I posted on December 27th. Random as fuck. The moment I post it, woman in Minnesota is getting a brand new iPod out and uploading Facebook and sees the thing and goes, oh, I know the story, and comments right when I post it. She comments, one of the first comments on there, and she writes, I was in Bert's Russian class. I was on this trip. This story's 100% true. He fucking robbed us. And then she tags everyone in my class. Now, look, had that not happened, I'm not sure that story would have gone viral the way it did.
I didn't know that.
But because that comment was left, people like content providers started ripping it, putting it on their page, and then putting in the big bold letters, this story is 100% true. And they'd screen grab her caption. And I was like, holy shit. By the way, she had done that before and no one had seen it.
Just didn't hit that
She had
time.
done it
Yeah.
before on another time it was posted and no one's seen it. She did it again. Lucky as shit. And then it goes fucking viral.